See, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Athletic Ascent podcast. Rafael Espinoza.
Miguel Espinoza.
Yeah. So for this podcast, we're trying something new. We invited some of the people on our Instagrams to. Well, we got two people today, but we invited a few on our Instagram to hop on the podcast with us via Zoom. So in a little bit, we're gonna have one guest on, and then we're gonna have another guest on. But really quickly, let's catch up. Your shoulder's hurting you?
Yeah, dude, I messed it up. I don't
Okay,
know,
so
because I got cupping. I think that's the reason, and I already had like problems previously, so I think, yeah, I just aggravated it and.
But okay, so this is why I don't think it is a cupping.
Dude, nerves, bro. It's all these nerves.
Because it doesn't. It's not strong enough to like pull on the nerves. I don't think. I think it's literally just the skin that's getting sucked up.
Well, it was in the area where it hurts, so.
She did it on your shoulder?
Yes.
It could have been. I honestly don't know. I don't know the science behind the cupping, to be honest. But
Well, I already had problems prior, so. I think it's aggravated.
I would assume it would make it better, no? But wait, how did you hurt it?
We literally did a light session.
No, like before all of that.
Dude, I sleep on it.
Oh yeah.
And I've always had like.
Low-key my right
really
shoulder.
like sharp pains.
Yeah. I'm a side sleeper, and it's.
Yeah,
I always wake up like this. That's how I feel when I wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fool, you look down today. Come on, wake up.
Tired, bro. I just woke
I feel
up.
bad, dude.
Why? You
Because I made him hurt his shoulder.
didn't make him. You didn't make him sleep on his side.
Oh,
I know.
That's true.
Yeah, how about you? How was your week?
Yeah, dude, my week was good. It was like, why are you talking like that?
I don't know, dude. So we want me to scream?
Fool, it's a podcast. Fool, come on, be energized. My week. Well, you know how I said last podcast that week by week we're not gonna have like I was like a week or two ago that it was gonna be my last week of midterms and I have a week off. And that was a lie.
Still have midterms?
Dude, me
Dude.
too, bro. That's why I haven't edited your video.
Dude, there's midterms week after week after week after week. It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
So I got done with my midterm yesterday. Not feeling like too good about it, but you know, it is what it is. We'll see. The grades will probably be submitted sometime this week, and I have another midterm on Thursday, the day this podcast goes out. So yeah, just school and then training, and I'm excited. Next week we start training with UCI again.
Nice.
So I think Monday we're gonna start training again with UCI. Got tested last for Thursday.
You haven't got results?
No, yeah, I got them. Tested negative. Imagine test positive. No, yeah, tested negative. So everything's good. Yeah, everything's pretty good.
Nice. I actually quit my job the other day.
Did I?
Bringing it out. Yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah. I'm going full time on this, so.
Full time on Athletic Ascent.
I feel pretty confident about it. I'm excited. I mean, I still have that, coaching job with the club that I'm currently coaching in. Slammers. So there's some income, but obviously that's not the mindset I want. I want the, I'm going all in and this is going to be successful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. And a little, scared, but.
Nah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's cool. I mean, the thing is that you have support, you have.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like you're doing this alone, so.
No, I know, for sure.
But it's exciting. Yeah, it's definitely like a good step into the future.
Yeah, if not now, then when, bro?
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
So I was just like, I'm just gonna do it. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing prior, so.
Yeah. No, yeah, for
I'm
sure.
excited.
All right. I think we got Hector waiting to get on. I think we should admit him in. Let's see how this goes. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go.
Hopefully you can hear his audio.
Yeah. We'll see. Do you want to move our screen?
Oh, yeah. How do you do that?
Just click on it and then drag it to the side. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
All right.
What's
Hey
up,
guys,
Hector?
how you guys doing? What's good?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. Just trying to get some work done before class.
You have class in a bit?
All right. What's up?
You have class in a bit or what?
No, I have class like at 12, but we're going because as a classmate, like with other classmates, we're doing like a song that we have to practice.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, just getting that done.
Okay, wait. Are you gonna have your camera off or on?
I have it on, but I have the questions written down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Okay.
So one of the questions I have is like, you know how back in the day resources were like hard for athletes to get, or like young athletes, and then clubs were too expensive or are too expensive. What do you think of clubs charging athletes to play, like on price range? Do you think it's like it's expensive, or it's worth its price, or what are your thoughts on that?
For what you said for club teams?
Yeah, club teams. So let's
Okay.
say we have an athlete that's got all the talent and everything and hard work, but the only fail to it, or the only downfall is that they don't have that much money to pay for the clubs.
Well, so I'll go off of my experience. Basically, so that was my situation, right? And that's a big reason why my brother and I couldn't weren't like in a club team really early on, is because we didn't really know much about club, and two is we couldn't afford it. But luckily for me though is that the coach at when I was 10 for my first club team really liked me and really wanted to work around and try to get me to play with him, even though he knew that I didn't have the money to afford it, right? So that's why a lot of club teams do offer scholarships. Now it's just a matter of looking for them. It's a matter of communicating with coaches about it. Sorry for the background noise for those who are watching. There's a lawnmower in the background, but
Good.
but yeah. So they do offer scholarships. Yes, so a lot of the club teams they put it at a certain price for those who can afford it. But with those who can't afford it and are talented, like you said, but just can't afford it, there are scholarships that are offered for those athletes, and yeah, and that's how I think they're. Like in my situation, I was able to play club, but again, it's just a matter of, communicating that and trying to look for that scholarship. And if one team isn't offering it to you, look for another team that will. That kind of stuff. Do you want to add to that? Or?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's a business. So in order for them to get the gear and get the tournaments to go play in, it obviously requires money. So
yeah.
At the end of the day, there's that side of the business that no one really talks about. So
yeah, but also in order for the business to strive, they do need to have a name for themselves. So they do need to bring in those talented players who may not be able to afford it. Yeah. So it's a balance between the two. But luckily, there are scholarships that are offered. So yeah. Do you have another question?
Yeah. So if those resources were, because I remember when I was growing up, we didn't have that much resources or like the mentorship. So if those resources were given like to the younger age, do you believe there will be a higher rate of athletes making it pro?
Yeah. I'll go and then you can talk after. But yeah, definitely. I think like I again, this is because a lot of what we speak of is off experience. So to respond to that question, I'll use my brother as an example, and his experience, or even the guest that we had on last week, Alexis Plata. We can use his example as well, because both, like my brother and him, very, very talented players. We grew up playing together, very, very talented players. Had every capability to make it to the pro level and play at that level. It's just the lack of what you said, the resources, the guidance, the mentorship, all of that. Is the lack of that is what really is what caused their professional career to be, or their soccer career to be cut short. That, and so I mean, you want to speak on that. You can speak on your own personal experience.
Well, yeah, me personally, damn, I don't even know. Like, it's kind of it's sad to talk about, but just the fact that I didn't have anyone, or at the time, internet wasn't really as advanced as it was today, or as it is today.
Damn, this was in the dinosaur age and shit.
Dude.
No, joking. I know you used it for like MySpace and just to mess with and shit. But.
Yeah, and it wasn't really, well, yeah. The thing is, people back then didn't even consider soccer being a profession. Like, it was like really rare. So just all those like naysayers kind of get to you, and you get to the point where like, okay, maybe, or like not even that, like you don't even know like how to get there, and no one around you knows how to get there. So, you just have to be around. You had to be around people that were in that position. So.
And so that's like that's a big reason why we started this is because we see, I mean, you growing up in the Orange County area yourself, Hector, like you see there's so many talented players in this area, and a lot of them after high school they just stop playing because of those reasons, the lack of resources, guidance, mentorship. And so that's the big reason why we started this, is so we can try to minimize that. We try to like maximize the amount of talent that has a successful career in soccer. We're trying to maximize that in this area, for sure.
All right, and then the last question. I know you guys like coached before, and have experience like with coaching athletes and setting up a formation and then having your athletes compete. So I know like most of the media, like if you take a look at it, like most of the media, they either, if a team is down, let's say Barcelona, for example, they were down 8-2 to Bayern Munich, which was a tough loss for them. But all the blame was given towards the coach and the athletes. Do you feel like the ones responsible for it should be the coaches, or should it be the athletes, or like what's your view on that?
I think it's the team, I think it goes all the way down to the managers, it's the players themselves, it's the coach, it's their athletic trainer, their the manager of the team. I think it's everyone has a part. It's very difficult to say it's this one person's fault or this one player, because like there's really no evidence to prove what was the reason, right? So I think in that instance, like for me myself, like if I personally don't like to blame a game on anybody but myself. That's just me personally. Like I wanna, but at the same time, it's kind of ridiculous to say that you're the reason why they lost. Is now it can be a bit insulting to your teammates. Where they're like, oh, okay, because you had a bad game, now we lost. It can be a bit insulting in that sense. But obviously, like I don't speak that out loud. It's just more in my head. Whereas like I don't want to blame like, oh, my right back made a mistake, so it's his fault that they scored on us and that's why we lost. No, it's more like, okay, I'll take the blame. I had a poor performance. I didn't score the goals I needed to score, so it's on me. But I think every player should have that idea where it's on me, and then even the coach should have that idea where it's on him as well, or her, because all that provides is growth. It makes everyone want to be like, okay, next one I'm gonna do better. That's kind of like the mindset that I take from that, right? Like, would you agree with that? Whereas like if you take accountability for what you did, how you like the mistakes you made, you would want to do better, and rather than if you were to blame someone else, you're not gonna fix anything. You're not gonna try to improve anything because it's someone else's fault supposedly, right? So I don't think anyone is to blame, but I think it's very important to take accountability for whatever you did that you felt was wrong in the game.
No one really talks about how the other team did. Like the other team, they probably performed way better. They got, they had a better, game plan. They, they did everything well. So no one really talks about like.
Yeah. They don't give their credit to the other team. Yeah, for sure. And there's so many factors. That's the basically. Yeah. All right, Hector. Well, sorry, bro. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, because like. Personally, I coach a Pilot Cups girls team, and we had a chance to win and everything. And I don't know if you guys have felt this, but like when you guys lose, you feel like, damn, it's my fault that we didn't make it past to the next round or win this game, or or did I do something that I could have done better?
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I was like wondering, like, was it actually, like, at the moment, was it actually my fault? Because I gave my players a game plan, and at the end, it's theirs to their option to go ahead and, you know, do what they do best.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, you know, is it overall a team, you know, blame for it, or is it just an individual?
Yeah, I think in that sense, I think it's just I mean, that's you being a little hard on yourself, you know, but it's good. I think it's good. It's a good way to like reflect and think, okay, let me improve next time, because I'm sure your game plan wasn't perfect. I'm sure it wasn't perfect. Yeah. If it was perfect, you probably would have won. But that's the reality, is that you're not gonna have a perfect game plan your first Pilot Cup season, you know, like, or your first tournament, your first, like, you're not gonna have a perfect game plan really ever, because you don't really know exactly how the other team's gonna play. So it's very difficult to say you're gonna have a perfect game plan. But it's just is seeking that perfection. So yeah, bro, I think it's not like, I think, again, it's accountability, reflecting, and I think it's good to be a bit hard on yourself at times, not every time, like I am, but you know, sometimes. But all right, bro, we got another guy waiting to hop on. Yo, thank you for hopping on, Hector.
Yeah, no problem. You guys keep doing what you guys are doing. Thanks.
Appreciate it, bro. Catch you later. Bye bye.
Catch you later, man.
Okay, let's put Sergio. Yep, he's waiting. That was cool. That's pretty dope, huh? You had good questions. Let's see how Sergio's gonna follow that up. Let's see. Sergi!
What's up, bros?
What's
How are
up?
you?
The first appearance on the Athletic Ascent podcast.
Yes, sir. Okay, so should I just ask the question then?
Well, bro, you want to talk a little bit or what?
Okay.
Nah, bro, we're hoping to have you on soon, so you can be in here. Oh, no, you can be on here.
Sure, yeah, I'm down. Just let me know. I'll be there.
That'd be sick. Yeah, ask your question now.
So my question is, so both of you guys are or have been a player and coach, like, you know, with soccer.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys are doing with Athletics Ascent is, like, you know, really like mentoring players, pushing them to be better, and just helping people out in that way. Like, that's dope. But my question is, both of your guys' like coaching and player like careers were at a high level, and in order to make that run properly, you guys need leadership. So my question is, what makes a good leader?
I go first.
You go, bro. You're the leader.
Well, yeah.
Of the freaking
So,
career.
so like, to me, and I think we touched on it a bit on a previous podcast, but because, I mean, as you know, Sergio, like, I was a captain of my club team the entire time, and even teams prior to that, and a lot of my mindset before, you know, in the elementary school days kind of stuff, like, my mindset was always like, you know, I gotta be, like, I want to be the best, and I want to prove that I'm the best, and if that means that I gotta put some players down, like, I don't care. I'm gonna prove that I'm the best. That's kind of how my mentality was in elementary, and it wasn't until I was in middle school I realized, like, that's not how you should. That's not like a good leader. You know, I was placed as a captain of my club team around that age, and I realized, like, that's not how we're gonna win. That doesn't make me feel good, really. It doesn't make any of my teammates feel good. So what I realized is that I want to be the best, but I also want the players around me to be the best, if that makes sense. Like, it's never like I think I am good. Like, I think I'm good at soccer. Like, I think I'm legit. But it's never to the point where, okay, I'm good, you suck. It's not that. It's I'm good, you're good, and we can be better. That's kind of like my mentality. That's how I think a leader should be. That's the mentality it should be. And there's different ways, specifically how a leader leads, in terms of being more vocal or leading by example. I try to choose to do a mixture of both. You know, I am very vocal, as you know, Sergio, but I also try to lead by example as well, because I try not to preach what I don't practice. You know, I practice everything I preach. And yeah, so I mean, I think that answers the question, right? Like, I think that's That's what I think how a leader should lead. And it. Sorry, what was it?
I'll continue and then.
I was gonna say, and it is also just a mixture of like knowing your team, knowing how certain players are, and then how you communicate with certain other players. Because some players, like. Let's say for instance like Chapin when I was playing with him I knew he was my homie. I knew we were tight, and I knew regardless of what was said on the field, like after the field we're gonna be friends, right? So that's how it was gonna be, So I knew on the field I can be a little harder on Chapin because he can take it, and he'll come back at me if he tell me like, oh, all right, he doesn't agree with me, and he has before, and it's not like I left the field like, oh, I hate Chapin. No, we're still friends, But so it's also knowing like how you can talk to certain players, because if there's another player who is a little more sensitive or whatever, doesn't really absorb that kind of energy well, then I gotta talk to him a little, set him take him aside and be like, hey dude, like is everything good, like what's going on, like I don't know, like that kind of stuff. It's just knowing how to communicate as well.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So like that's dope from like a player's perspective. That's good. Like lead by example and whatnot. What about coaching? Like when you guys are coaching clients or trying to mentor them, what leadership qualities do you guys try to aim for to make sure that you're leading them correctly?
I would say it'd be similar. Like what Raph was saying, you just gotta know your player, and the way they'll take things.
Well, when you're coaching like baby slammers or junior slammers, like what kind of like in that sense, how would you lead them?
So it'd be just trying to make the environment fun as possible, because that's their babies.
Yeah.
You have to obviously show them step by step how to do it,
Yeah.
and you just have to keep everything super simple.
Yeah. So that's basically that goes with like what I was gonna say was like when I'm coaching my when I'm training my players, it's kind of like setting that environment that ideally they would want to be in, and how kind of, and then also preparing them for what to come, right? Like, so I don't want my players to come out and set the environment as like, oh, everything's fun and games, it's not serious, we're half-assing it, because then at that point is like I'm leading. That's a terrible example to lead by, that's not the reality of it. You go into your training session, yes, you have fun in the locker room, but once you hit the field, it's like, all right, it's like game face. You gotta work your ass off, right? And so that's kind of how it is. Before we make a few jokes and everything, but then once it's time to go, like it's time to go.
Yeah.
And it'd be dumb. Like, or at least for me, like I don't think it's right, and I don't really like how some coaches, when they coach, they just sit. You've seen those coaches where they just sit on the bench and just watch their team play and don't really coach, right? That's not that to me. That's not really leading. I'd much rather show, like I show my passion. So if you ever see me training a player and I have them going, I'm not talking, I don't care to be there. I'm not passionate about it. So it's just a matter of like, to me it's just setting the environment, and the way I lead is through being vocal, and then also by example, and if I'm not doing that, then I don't want to be there, but yeah, that's how. So
sure. Yeah.
And then I think we had a little bit of a conversation about that today with a certain team. Do you remember?
Oh, like me and you are on the podcast.
No. About a certain team that you may or may not be playing on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so like to me, like that's not leading. That's not good leadership right there. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Somebody who's listening right now doesn't understand what the hell we're talking about, but we know. But yeah. And,
maybe when I'm on the podcast, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we'll go more in depth. All right. Do you have any other questions, or was that it?
You guys have time for one more?
We could do one more. Okay.
All right. So I know probably the three of us agree that's the U.S. soccer system isn't really the best when it comes to, in general, obviously compared to everywhere else. It's kind of very school focused, it's like you have to get good grades in order to kind of play at a high level in college or play academy, which is not a bad thing, but compared to the rest of the world, it's preventing the US from progressing more in the soccer sense.
Yeah.
So, but taking a positive out of it, like a negative, um, what do you guys think are benefits from being a student athlete compared to just a student? Like, what do athletics do to benefit students?
Uh, to me, it's a big motivator. You know, like to me, like my whole all of high school, man. I'm gonna be honest. Whoever was listening, I hate school. I do not like school, but all throughout high school, I had a 4.3 GPA. You know, straight A's, AP classes, all that stuff, right? If it wasn't for like not going to Estancia my senior year, I would have been like valedictorian or what is that called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff. Like I would have been, you know, all of that. But the only reason I did well in school was because of soccer. Because in my mind, I had instilled that in order for me to play at the highest level, which I thought, or to make it to the next step for me to play at the highest level, which was, you know, in my head at that time, freshman year was college. To make it into that next step, I need to like perform in my academics. So that's what I did. And again, I don't like doing homework. I don't like doing any of that. But I knew I had to do it in order for me to play college soccer, and for me to get scholarships for to play at college. You know, because I'm not gonna be able to play afford college. So yeah, and then now even now being in college is that it's again the same thing. I can't play. I can't my season like I can't play my season if I don't do well, in academics. If I don't have a certain GPA, then I'm not able to play. So again, it's just more of like a it's huh?
Like discipline?
Yeah, yeah, it's more of like it's it's more of like in order to do this, you have to do this. So that's what I think athletics benefits the student. Um,
Than from a regular student.
than a student just going to school, because there is just more of like it's hard. I would imagine being just a student and not have that, like, you know, if you don't go to if you don't if you like if you I mean, yes, I mean, if a student thinks like, okay, if I don't if they have it instilled in their head, if I don't hit a certain GPA, I'm not gonna be able to get my degree, then yeah, that would be their motivator. But if they don't have that instilled, which like a lot of students don't, they just go to college and just go with the flow and don't really try and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's why I think athletics benefits the student a lot, in my personal opinion.
Versus regular students.
Versus,
So like I think another benefit is like if a student athlete's getting recruited by a college, they would technically take a place from a regular student that is trying to apply to that school as well. Wouldn't you
oh,
agree?
that's right. That's a good point as well. And then also the perks that come with being a student athlete. There's perks in the sense of like, you have access to more. You have access to, yeah. It's not to say that you don't have access to tutors if you're just a student, but it's like an easier access, I believe. When you're a student athlete, you have easier access to to tutors. You have easier access to like there's more like on your ass in terms of like, okay, there's study hall from like you have to do 2 hours of study hall this amount of times a week, and you have to go and you have to and then actually study or do homework or whatever it is. So there's a bit of that like athletics provides. So there's a bit of perks in that sense too. But yeah.
All right, guys. Those are my two questions.
All right,
Appreciate
Beast, bro. I appreciate you coming on.
I'm there in person soon.
Yeah, definitely. And then we'll get one with like everybody too. That'd be sick.
Sure. For sure.
All right, bro. Later. Okay. Well, that was pretty cool, huh? that was cool, no?
Yeah.
I think we should do that like not every time, but once in a while. What do you think, Yuli? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. And now, for those who are listening or watching, comment down below what you guys think. But yeah. Let us know what you guys thought. That's it, no? To wrap it up, you have anything else to say? No? Alright. Well, yeah. That was it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys next week.